Hello, welcome back to Outdoor Exploration. I'm Emily, and today I'm going to go out and find a nice place in the forest to do some square foot observing, which I've talked about before and I'll explain again later. But first, I have a nettle sting, and I thought it would be a useful moment to explain a handy solution we have growing all over the place, including right outside my front door, and quite often right next to where nettles grow. So if you come over here, I will show you my poor finger and this wonderful plantain plant on the ground. I don't know if you can see closely enough, but there is just a tiny little white circle with a dot in my finger there, and it stings. Not too badly because I already put some plantain on it, but I'm going to put some more. So down here we have actually tons and tons of this plantain, but I'm going to show you this one big plant. And if you'll come in very, very close, I will pick off a leaf. So this is broad-leaved plantain. We have a few different types. Narrow-leaf plantain is also quite common here. It's also called ribwort. But this broadleaf plantain, it has broad leaves, amazingly. And you can see they're kind of like a flat, broad spear shape, sort of. They're not very pointy, but anyway. And here is the most exciting thing about plantain. Before I help my finger, let me show you plant tricks. When you pull them off, if you're close enough, I hope you can see this, it's going to have, oh, this one might be a little too young, let me see. It should have little tiny veins in it that are actually, well, you can see them running up the back of it here. But sometimes you can grab hold of them from the bottom and pull them. And if it's old enough, oh, here they come. I don't know if you can see them sticking out there. If it's an old enough leaf, they'll be tough enough that when, oh yeah, when you pull them, it curls the leaf like that. This is a bit young for doing this, but it works a little. Anyway, you should try it. Plant tricks, why not? But here is the best trick I know about plantain. When you have a nettle sting, you simply chew it up. And plantain is edible. You can make salad with it too, but you can also help yourself. Chew it up. You're not really adding your own spit as much as you are mushing the juice out of it. And then you squish it onto your finger like a poultice or wherever you have the sting. It also helps for bee stings. And it will suck the histamine right out of you and help you. Almost instant relief. I can already feel some relief from my finger. So, let's go find a log to look under. So, for today, I wanted to do a little bit about square foot observing or observation. I took the camera myself out into the forest, so it's only me, and I'm looking for interesting things to look at. And I'm going to try and find a couple of little spots just to focus the camera for a few minutes. Now, basically the concept of square foot observation is just to pick a spot, 1 square foot approximately, and look at it for however long you like, whether 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour maybe, and see what you observe. It might be sounds, it might be smells, so I might mention a couple of things, but for the most part, today you're going to look at my video just quietly. So here's a little maple sapling, seedling, and beyond it I found a skull. I have no idea what kind of animal this skull is from. You can decide for yourself if when you want to do square foot observation you're going to pick things up and look at them, or just look at them where they're sitting. And I'm going to look at this one because I find it fascinating. And if you look at where the teeth should be, there are some little holes. So I think this is a mammal, not a bird. Oops, hold on. had some large eye sockets, but I really don't know what it is. By the size of it, maybe a rat? I don't know. There's so much missing. It'd be a big rat if it was one. Maybe a mink? One other thing I'd like to look at here is under this log, or piece of wood. It's not a whole log. There's sometimes so much interesting to see. Looks like maybe some new growth on the roots. Now let's go see if we find another spot to look. Part of the joy of square foot observation is finding the place. So the idea is you walk along and you're really looking at a macroscopic view, kind of, well, not too big, but it's the world around as we find a lovely place to go sit down and observe. And once we find a place, we really get microscopic. And I'm seeing this beautiful spot on a maple tree over here that I think I'd like to look at. And now, because I have the camera, I have to put on my lens in order to get close up and show you a bit more of a macro view. And I'm curious what we see in this lovely moss. It's like a whole little ecosystem. The skin of the tree. So that was our little short example of square foot observing with my fancy camera lens, and I hope you get out and enjoy some yourself. See you next time.